Alright, so right now I'm actually at my girlfriend's work, but just got the radio in, and right now I gotta hook up the RCA cables and the remote wire. I got those right here. We're gonna have to figure out where I'm gonna run them. Gonna run them down the trim to the back seat on the right side. Then we're gonna do the power wires down on the left side, since the battery is in the front on the left, driver's side. But right now, just gonna have to get the radio bolted in and everything, get the wires ran before it gets too dark. Got the radio plugged up. Right now I'm working on running this remote wire in the RCA. Probably gotta take off the glove box so I can run it behind there and through the underneath the side panel, whatever you want to call this. But yeah, I'm gonna get to it before it gets way too dark. Alright, so I got the radio all the way in. Damn, people are crazy. This side of town is crazy, but yeah, I got the radio put in. Got the RCA wire and the remote wire ran underneath. As you can see, it's hidden. I got it run underneath here, around the side quarter panel. And my remote wire is a little bit short, but we're going to just gonna extend it. But I gotta finish tucking this under, just like that, and then I'm gonna run it through here. Gonna have to leave the remote wire just tuck it back under there, and when I get more wire I'm gonna extend it and gonna run it underneath here, straight through here. But I can't do that today, but I can run the RCA wires through there. Even though this is a lot, I'm probably gonna cut it so there's not a lot of cord, just wiggle around in there. And I got the amp right here, basically already hooked up with the wire and everything. Gotta make sure the wire's long enough. 5 gauge. I'm supposed to use 4, but 5 won't really hurt anything. Running at only about 400 watts. But I'll see if I can put that in here today. Hopefully I can. Won't have enough wire for the remote wire, unless I use some speaker wire. But yeah, if I do more, I'll get back to it. Alright, we got everything ran. RCA remote. The remote stops right here. Got the RCA going right there. As you can see, it's just sitting in there. I'll just hook it up there. Might as well hook it up now, right? Oh, input is over here. Look at my eyes, not the camera. Alright. I'll probably just run the wire from the power to the ground, see if I get any power. See, got my wire running from there. Got it running underneath. See it all right there? Alright. Running under there. Right now, my girlfriend was just calling me. But right now, I'm working on taking off these 2 bolts. That one, and there's another one which the ratchet is on right now, and I'll show you why. See, I just found the stick from over here, but as you can see, that little plastic thing right here, those are the 2 bolts for it, and that plastic will come out, and then I'll be able to run the power wire from there. And I'll hook it up to here, this nasty ass looking terminal, and then we should be good to go. I'll just have to run that ground. Oh, can't pick it up from that side. I'll just run that ground to one of these bolts, see if I get a good ground. Yeah, everything's easier said than done. Right now everything's coming together pretty good. I'm gonna take off these bolts and run that wire, and when I do that, I'll update you on that. Here come with the update. Got the fuse linked up. See, I got the hole open. I just gotta go to the other side, go to the hood, and just reach in there. Oh, I got a hold of it, and just pull that baby through. I don't know how much to pull it through. I'll just push it through from now on. Oh, that's a lot of wire. When I get the chance, I'm gonna cut whatever I don't need. I think this is perfect to run up in here and hide where you won't see any wire. This is actually the first time I've ever had to run wire from the engine. Every time I've ever done this hookup, honestly, it wasn't too bad. Luckily, I had that little hole that I can just unhook and run it right through. So right now I'm just gonna hook it up and see if we get some power to the amp. Alright, let's tuck that in just a little bit. See that wire running? Now look at it. Even got the fuse holder through that hole. I'm just gonna have to shorten this wire, but at least it was long enough. See that fuse right there? There's a little bit of wire sticking out. I'm gonna have to probably just put some electrical tape on it so it doesn't touch any kind of metal, low fuses. But yeah, I mean, this is way too long. I mean, at least it's long enough though. Easily say that. But yeah, I got everything hooked up pretty much. Hadn't done the ground yet. Let's see. Haven't hooked up the ground yet. It's just sitting in there. Probably gonna stick it on one of those bolts. But yeah, then we'll be ready to try her, see if she'll come on. Probably just gonna run a wire from the remote right here. I'm gonna run it there to there just to see if that amp will actually turn on, or if the radio actually turn on the amp, making sure that I have it hooked up to the remote wire on the amp, or on the radio. I mean, there was only blue wire left, so if that works, all I have left to do is get the box and the subwoofer. Then yeah, she's got her system in here, thanks to me. Really can't see, it's dark out, but I'm done with everything right now, all the wiring. I don't have the subwoofer to the box yet, even though it's ordered. It should be in here within the next week. But I got everything hooked up. Got the ground ran. I did try the amp, it did turn on. Yeah, pretty much everything's ready to go. I'm just gonna have to redo the I'm gonna have to cut this wire because it's really long. Doesn't look like it's in the way of anything. It's like barely hooked up right now. Like the way this is ran is really crappy. I just got it kind of jammed in there and tightened. Let me go ahead and shut this hood. Yeah, it's a little messy in here though. New radio. Everything works. All the wires are pretty much hid, even though you can see it just a little bit. It's actually basically my first system I've hooked up besides mine. With mine, you didn't have to run the power wire at all because it's in the trunk, so everything's good there. But I actually did a really good job of hiding it. Now I just have to make sure that the subwoofer will be in there very well hidden. It'll be on the passenger side, so everything over here will look the same. Now when you come over here, this is where the subwoofer should sit. So it's going to sit right here, and then the amp is going to be right there, and I should be able to bolt it onto the box. It should still fit underneath the seat, but that's going to have to come out. Wires are ran. The remote wire still stops right about there, but I did run my speaker wire from my car just to see if the amp would turn on, and it did. But yeah, everything is good to go. This is it says it's part 1 out of 2, and we'll have a part 2 within about a week. See the radio. One more click. There you go. Radio comes on. There's an old radio right here. So yeah, I did all the wiring all myself, and yeah, everything works. Luckily, this bracket really wasn't hard to make. All you have to do is just put this piece on right here, and then you have the bracket that bolts in right there and there on both sides. Very easy. Popping this piece out, there's a bolt right here which wasn't even in there, so all you have to do is just pop that down and pull this whole thing out. But yeah, I mean, it looks like it's got a little bit of space in it, but it looks good. Looks better than my radio, so yeah, I don't really care if mine looks bad, but when you're doing someone else's, you want it to look the best, and this thing looks pretty good, I would say, especially for my work.